Hello and welcome to the afternoon edition of the Morning Signal Preparedness Brief. Here's what's developing, why it matters, and what you can do to stay ready. Like and subscribe to support the channel. In the United States, winter storm fallout. We're now seeing secondary impacts as the dominant factor in the news today. The historic winter storm that crossed much of the United States has moved east, but secondary impacts are now the primary risk. Ice damage, refreezing conditions, delayed utility restoration, and transportation backlogs continue across large portions of the Midwest, South, and the Northeast. Multiple states are still reporting hundreds of thousands without power, and emergency services are dealing with injuries and fatalities tied not to snowfall, but to carbon monoxide exposure, vehicle accidents, and hypothermia during the aftermath. Why this matters. Most storm-related deaths and infrastructure failures occur after precipitation ends. Refreeze cycles stress grids and increase accident rates, while restoration crews face access issues and equipment failure. Watch items for the next 24 to 48 hours. Morning and evening refreeze windows on bridges and elevated roadways, slipping utility restoration timelines due to ice damaged lines, and fuel shortages or delivery delays in hard-hit regions. Actions today. Maintain a 48-hour outage posture even if power is restored. Charge all devices, top off fuel, and stage safe heat and lighting. Avoid unnecessary travel during dawn and dusk refreeze periods, and protect pipes and check on vulnerable neighbors if safe to do so. Domestic security and protest environment. Tensions remain elevated following recent federal immigration enforcement actions and fatal shootings in Minnesota. Protests that began locally have expanded into multi-city demonstrations, with continued activity near downtown areas, federal buildings, and transportation hubs. In Minneapolis specifically, the situation remains sensitive, with law enforcement posture adjustments and ongoing investigations adding uncertainty. Political rhetoric is intensifying, and misinformation is circulating rapidly online. Why this matters. Sustained protest cycles increase the likelihood of localized disruption. Road closures, transit delays, temporary curfews, and heightened police presence, especially when combined with weather-related strain. Items to watch. Announced day of action or coordinated national protest calls. Transit changes, curfews, or government building closures, or copycat incidents, along with isolated acts of political violence. Actions today, very similar to what we've talked about recently. Route around known protest zones and federal facilities, keep vehicles fueled above half of a tank, and avoid observation or engagement. Distance is always the safest posture. Authoritarian states monitor. Iran remains the top global phase change signal. Iran continues to experience severe internal pressure marked by ongoing protests, mass arrests, and aggressive information control. Authorities have used nationwide communications restrictions as a core tool to suppress coordination and reporting, with reports of selective or throttled access rather than full restoration. Why this matters. Nationwide communications control during unrest is a regime survival behavior. Partial restoration followed by renewed shutdowns often signals internal stress testing. How much control can be relaxed without reigniting mass mobilization? Watch items. Shifts between partial access and renewed blackouts. External intervention signals. Sanctions changes. Satellite internet offers. And military posturing. Also look into the evidence of fractures within political or security leadership. Actions for today. Treat early or dramatic footage as unverified until confirmed, and focus on second-order effects. Energy markets, shipping risk, cyber activity, and refugee posture. Greenland and the Arctic, slow-burning strategic shifts. Diplomatic and technical discussions involving the United States, Denmark, and Greenland are ongoing, centered on Arctic security, surveillance, and strategic positioning. Greenlandic leadership has publicly emphasized the need for increased monitoring and protection of regional infrastructure. Why this matters. The Arctic is a slow-moving phase change. Developments here affect undersea cables, early warning systems, basing rights, and future shipping routes. These issues rarely break suddenly, but when they do, they matter immediately. Watch items. New surveillance, basing, or radar announcements. Political leverage attempts involving economic aid or security guarantees. Actions. This is a tracking item. No immediate action required, but keep it on the long-range radar. Space, weather, context, awareness, not alarm. Recent geomagnetic activity earlier this month highlighted infrastructure sensitivity, but no severe geomagnetic storm is currently impacting Earth. NOAA monitoring continues and conditions remain within manageable ranges. Actions for today. If you rely on communications or power resilience, keep backups charged and make sure that you know how to use them. No need for heightened response beyond these standard preparedness levels. Market indicators. As of today, as of this recording, Bitcoin is at 89,000, gold is at $5,300 per ounce, and silver is at $115 per ounce. Daily actionables. Assume short-term power or service disruptions remain possible. Avoid protest corridors and government sites when feasible. Maintain communications redundancy and offline access to key info. Use weather forecasts, civic alerts, and market indicators, not social media, for decisions. Focus on flexibility and resilience over optimization during uncertainty. Bottom line today, this remains a pressured environment, not a collapse scenario. The risk comes from stacking stresses, weather, civic tension, geopolitical instability, and market uncertainty, rather than any single trigger. Stay aware, stay ready. This has been the Morning Signal.